a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. I Want to Live. I Want to Live is a 1958 film noir written by Nelson Gidding and Don Mankiewicz, produced by Walter Wanger, and directed by Robert Wise, which tells the story of a woman, Barbara Graham, a habitual criminal convicted of murder and facing execution. It stars Susan Hayward as Graham, and also features Simon Oakland, Stafford Rep, and Theodore Bickel. The movie was adapted from letters written by Graham and newspaper articles written by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Ed Montgomery. It presents a somewhat fictionalized version of the case, showing a possibility of innocence concerning Graham. Today, the charge would be known as felony murder. The film earned 6 Oscar nominations, with Hayward winning a Best Actress Oscar at the 31st Academy Awards. Plot. The film tells the story of the life and execution of Barbara Graham, a prostitute and convicted perjurer. Graham is the product of a broken home and works luring men into fixed card games. At one point, she attempts to go straight, but marries the wrong man and has a child. He is a drug addict and she ends their relationship. When her life falls apart, she returns to her former professions and becomes involved with a man who had murdered a woman. The police arrest them, and her companions accuse her of the murder to reduce their own chances of going to the gas chamber. She claims her innocence, but is convicted and executed. Critical response. When the film was released, Variety magazine gave the film a favorable review. There is no attempt to gloss the character of Barbara Graham, only an effort to understand it through some fine irony and pathos. She had no hesitation about indulging in any form of crime or vice that promised excitement on her own, rather mean, terms. Hayward brings off this complex characterization. Simon Oakland, as Montgomery, who first crucified Barbara Graham in print and then attempted to undo what he had done, underplays his role with assurance. Film critic Bosley Crowther liked the film and wrote, "Miss Hayward plays it superbly, under the consistently sharp direction of Robert Wise, who has shown here a stunning mastery of the staccato realistic style. From a loose and wise-cracking B-girl she moves onto levels of cold disdain, and then plunges down to depths of terror and bleak surrender as she reaches the end. Except that the role does not present us a precisely pretty character, its performance merits for Miss Hayward the most respectful applause." Jean Blake, the reporter who covered the actual murder trial for the Los Angeles Daily Mirror, called the movie a dramatic and eloquent piece of propaganda for the abolition of the death penalty. By March 1959, Billboard noted that the popularity of the film and of Mandel's and Mulligan's albums prompted a rush of jazz film scores, and cited the signing of Duke Ellington to do the score for that year's Anatomy of a Murder, the release of The Five Pennies, and a 1960 documentary Jazz on a Summer's Day. In 2009, the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reported that 11 out of 11 reviews of the film were positive. Musical score and soundtrack. The film score was composed, arranged and conducted by Johnny Mandel, but the picture also featured jazz themes performed by Jerry Mulligan's Jazz Combo, and 2 soundtrack albums were released on the United Artists label in 1958. AllMusic's Stephen Cook noted, "Johnny Mandel's I Want to Live soundtrack works both as high-end mood music and swinging jazz. The most intriguing cuts are those that seamlessly combine jazz, Latin percussion, and strains of Max Steiner's dramatically moody soundtracks. And as far as murky ambience goes, he delivers some of the best. To help navigate the vast terrain, Mandel enlists a cadre of top West Coast players like trumpeter Jack Sheldon, trombonist Frank Rosolino, reed player Bill Holman, bassist Red Mitchell, and drummer Shelly Manne. And topping off Mandel's original score, Jerry Mulligan and Art Farmer's combo interpretations of a handful of Mandel's original themes from the movie. One of the best jazz-inspired soundtracks around. Adaptation. I Want to Live was remade for television in 1983. It featured Lindsay Wagner, Martin Balsam, Pamela Reed, Harry Dean Stanton, Dana Elcar, Ellen Keir, Robert Ginty, and Barry Primus. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?